everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am super excited about this video. When my friend Jackeline reached out to me and wanted to collaborate with me on this video, I was incredibly excited and honored to collaborate with her. So in the video, we are going to be creating our own Charlotte Tilbury palette. Recently, she collaborated with Alicia from Kiki Sweat to create their own Pat McGrath palette. And then she recently collaborated with Sweet Morgan Turner and they created their own Natasha Denona palette. So she reached out to me and said, hey, I know that you love Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of your favorite brands. Why don't we create our own quad? And I was like, yes, please. So here we are. I pulled out all of my Charlotte Tilbury palettes and this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So when she first approached me about it, I was like, oh yes, okay, let's do it. And then when I pulled out all the palettes, I was like, okay, so where do I begin? It was interesting, but it was really fun, and I am super excited to share with you guys what I chose, because what I had planned in my mind for several days when she first approached me, I had it planned in my mind, and then it took a complete different turn, and it actually ended up being better than I thought it was going to be. So it is what it is. So if you guys have never heard of Jackeline, she is amazing. She is such a workhorse here on the YouTube platform. She works so incredibly hard. She's always on the ball when it comes to the new releases in the luxury line, and she is incredibly talented. I think her overall production of her videos are very thorough and very fun, and she's just such a ray of sunshine, and I really love Jackeline. She's just so sweet and so kind. Definitely head over to her channel and check out her channel, and definitely check out her Charlotte Tilbury quad. And I recommend going and watching her collaboration with Kiki Sweat and Alicia. That was such a good collaboration. And I love Alicia. She is so good and so talented. And then she collaborated with Morgan Turner with a Natasha Denona palette. And we all know, you guys all know, I love Morgan. She's like my little sister. I love that girl. So definitely check out all of their videos. They've all done such a great job, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. So thank you, Jackeline, for inviting me and doing this super fun collaboration. I love Charlotte Tilbury. You guys know it's one of my favorite brands. Here's the struggle when it comes to creating your own Charlotte Tilbury quad. They all look the same, and we all know that. If you're a Charlotte Tilbury lover like I am, you all know that when you pull them all out, they all look the same. You will see in the clip of me kind of pulling it out and kind of showing you my thought process of trying to really pull it together. I struggled a lot just because it's just a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And a lot of the shades look the same, and a lot of the tones look the same. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I didn't want my palette to be the same Charlotte Tilbury palette that we see with those kind of like peachy tones. You guys know that's why I love her brand, but whatever. Anyway, I'm excited to share this with you guys. This was such a fun, super fun challenge. I'm excited to jump over to her channel and see what shades she chose to create her own Charlotte Tilbury quad. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the madness of me creating my perfect Charlotte Tilbury quad.
Okay, so I have all of my Charlotte Tilbury palettes laid out on the floor. Now, when I went through my least favorite to favorite Charlotte Tilbury palettes, I did not include the Icon palette. I actually forgot about it. I don't use this palette a lot, only because I really don't like these type of mattes. They're kind of similar to the Natasha Denona cream to matte formula. Or cream to powder. Maybe it's cream to powder. Ooh, I can't remember. But anyway, they're just not my favorite. Like, they're not that pigmented. They are, but they're kind of hard to rub out. I don't know. They're just not my favorite formula. They're really creamy. But the problem is they're almost a little bit too creamy. They all look very similar, don't they? They're all the same tones. They're all the same color story, which is probably why I really like her brand, because I do like these type of tones. Like I mentioned, this palette right here is my favorite. This is my #1 favorite Charlotte Tilbury palette, just because of the simplicity of it. It has all the shades you need to create just like that everyday, like, beautiful look. So I have been swatching, and this is kind of the end of my little swatch story. So all of the Charlotte Tilbury palettes, they all have the prime shade, the enhanced shade, the smoke shade, and the pop shade. So as I was kind of going through all of the quads that I have, I'm kind of using that same type of theory to kind of create my perfect palette. So I'm going through and I'm saying, okay, which shade is my favorite, like prime shade? What shade do I love to put like on the inner corner to highlight the brow bone, to put a little bit above the crease? And then, you know, what shade do I love to use to enhance the first shade? In deciding my perfect quad, that is kind of the theory that I'm going with. And yeah, so in the next segment, you will find out which shades I chose.
I first went with more of a peachier tone because that's kind of who I am. But as I kind of just kept further swatching and putting my fingers in and kind of swatching, I came up with something along the lines, I know that sucks. I totally was swatching it so I could see it, not so you could see it. My bad. But I first chose this shade this is the Stars in Your Eyes palette. And I chose this shade in the Power Eyes. It's such a beautiful, like sparkly white gold shade. And it just has so much shimmer and so much life in it. It's just such a beautiful shade. So I chose that shade as like, you know, the prime shade. For the pop shade, I chose this shade in the Exager-eyes. The Exager-eyes palette has been one of my favorite palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. Truthfully, as I narrowed it down, it's because of this shade. This shade is very special and very beautiful. It's such a beautiful, like purpley lilac color. Look how beautiful that is. It's such a sparkly kind of wet look with that lavender undertone. I love this shade. It's just so perfect. For my enhance shade, I chose this shade right here, which is the Instant Look in a palette. It's the Gorgeous Glowing Beauty. This one is a really beautiful, very soft shimmer. So because these have so much pop going with them, like they're so shimmery and they've got that pop with it, I wanted to choose the shade to enhance that was more toned down, but still had that soft shimmer, which personally, Charlotte Tilbury, for me, does the best job with that when it comes to a beautiful, soft shimmer shade. And that is the reason why I chose this shade. I think it's so beautiful. Okay, so that's what that shade looks like swatched. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh. For the smoke shade, I grabbed the large Instant Eye Pillow Talk palette. This shade right here in the Date Eyes part of the palette. This, I felt like it would just go perfect and would really give these such a beautiful kind of pop. And I just love this matte shade. I think it's so pretty. Like I said, when I was going through all of my Charlotte Tilbury palettes, in that video, I mentioned that the one reason why I really enjoy this palette, whenever I'm working with her palettes, they all look very similar. I mean, they do, right? I can't lie, they do. So when I'm working and I'm using her palettes, if I ever need a matte, I grab a matte from this palette. And so it was just only right for me to grab a matte in this palette to match what I created here. So we're going to create a look using these 4 shades, and I'm super stoked about it. So let's get into it. I am going to first line my upper waterline with a brown eyeliner. First start with this shade in the Exager-eyes palette. I'm going to take it on my Sonia G Builder Pro, but I'm going to spray it down just to get the most impact and also to control the fallout. I'm also going to kind of tip my head back and then kind of get into that inner corner. But do you see how it just makes the eye look wet? That's what I love most about this eyeshadow, is that it just has such a beautiful wet look on the lid, and I love, love, love it. Next up, I'm going to take the exact same brush and I'm going to go into this shade in the Gorgeous Glowing Beauty palette, and I'm going to basically put this on the outer corner. That shade has a little bit of shimmer, but it's working so well with that shade from the Exager-eyes. I am going to switch to the Rephr number 12 brush, and I am going to grab this shade from the larger Pillow Talk palette. That is the matte shade. I'm gonna basically come in and kind of start carving out my crease. And also right here on the outer corner, kind of creating that V. Now I'm gonna switch to a clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend that shade out. Kind of add more as I need without, I'm gonna go back to the brush without adding more product, kind of using what's on there to diffuse the line. I'm gonna take that blending brush and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This is that like soft shimmer shade. And I'm gonna go right into my crease with that shade and kind of pull it out. When you're working with a Charlotte Tilbury palette, you want shimmer in your crease. It's just one of those formulas that just works so good to put in the crease. I love her formula and I love her shimmer formula. It's so beautiful in the crease. I'm gonna take the Rephr number 2 brush and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And then I'm gonna put this on my lower lash line. Now to really make things pop, I'm gonna go into the shade and just add that one more time on my lid just to really make that shade pop. I am going to take a small Rephr brush. This is the number 3. And I'm gonna go into the dark matte shade. And I think I'm gonna spray it down to create a liner with it. So I'm gonna use it as a liner right at the base of my lashes here on the outer corner, and also on the lower lash line on the outer corner as well. All right, I'm gonna take my sponge that doesn't have any product on it, and I'm just gonna kind of clean this line up. So I chose this shade in the Power Eyes section of the Stars in Your Eyes palette. It's such a beautiful, like white, kind of creamy gold. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna use that in my inner corner. I'm gonna take my Sonia G Pencil Bro, and I'm gonna go right into that shade right here. And I'm also gonna spray it just a little bit. Then I'm just gonna go over it with my finger just to kind of like blend it all together. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this eye, throw some mascara and some lashes on, and I will be right back. Okay, so this is the final look, and I love these shades together. I think it turned out so pretty and so kind of soft and kind of romantic. Love it. Okay, so as far as the lip goes, I used my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. This is one of the perfect lip liners to go with it. It has a beautiful purple undertone. It's just a perfect nude shade. If you love the Exager-eyes palette, you will love the Iconic Nude. I think this is one of the prettiest lip liners to go and pair with the Exager-eyes palette. And then I grabbed one of my favorite shades from Charlotte Tilbury. It's in the Hot Lips 2 formula. It's the Kissing K formula. This one is in the shade Angel Alessandra. I absolutely love this shade. It's so perfect. So I paired those two together. And then I topped it off with my new favorite gloss that I'm absolutely in love with. This is from Goss. This one is in the shade Hibiscus. It's like a perfect rose gold pink type of lip gloss. So I paired it with that over top. Perfect combination. Like it couldn't be any better. So that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed my perfect Charlotte Tilbury quad. Really enjoy the shades that I chose, and yeah, it makes me kind of want to do this more with different brands and kind of make me pull out more of the same brand and kind of put things together. It was really fun and I really appreciated the challenge. So thank you again, Jackeline, for inviting me and to do this super fun collaboration. I love you to pieces. Definitely head over to her channel and check out her video. Thank you all so much for joining me in today's video. And if you guys are here from Jackeline's channel, thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you guys will consider to subscribe to my channel and be a part of my family. I love you all so, so much. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.